Alright, hello, this is another video on Chesspective, and today I'm going to try and talk about dogs and at the same time win a 5-minute chess game. At least a 5-minute game on my timer. And okay, dogs, we all, I think, have mixed attitudes towards dogs because it's always the dog versus cats debate. And that always shapes kind of our beliefs. And perhaps it really depends if we had a dog growing up or if we did not, because I think as a child, almost necessarily, if you had a dog, you would like them. And in my case, I did not have a dog. I never had any pets, but what I did have was a very, very not so pleasant experience with dogs. Not because they're bad, not because of anything particularly towards them, but just as it happened, I was chased by them. And it was very extreme. I had to jump, and it's a long story. But basically, since then, I am quite reserved towards dogs. I'm not too sure what I should make of them or what I should think about them. But I think it's a good opportunity, to just recognize that they're just animals. And sometimes it does happen like that they do react a certain way where we do not expect it. And I definitely did not expect that reaction from that dog. But, and it was not just one dog, it was all the dogs, but that was it. It was like a whole group of them just chasing me. It's like that herd mentality that you also get with humans, we're just gonna gang up on you because whatever. That's maybe besides the point. But yeah, that's why dogs are a bit... Well, I have this move. I already had that move. I missed that. Okay. That's why dogs are a bit of a mixed feeling for me. But for a lot of people, I think they're not. And with good reason. With definitely some good reason. Because they are our companion. They are definitely... I don't know if they're beautiful animals, but they are loyal. Loyal as hell. And that's very important, I think. That is very important. That's why people value them, because they know that they will not give them up. That they will stick around. They will love you. They will appreciate you, no matter what, and that's super valuable. I might have blocked my thing, but I also drew attention to this. But if I took this, I would have been in big trouble. But yeah, that's why they're super valuable. With humans, you don't really know what they might do. They might become disloyal if something might happen. But with dogs, you kind of get the feeling that they're not going to do that. But is that really true? Is that really true? Because to be quite frank with you, dogs also sometimes can unfortunately suffer from certain changes in their lives, whether it's hormonal, whether it's a disease or rabies or something like that. And then we kind of lose the dog we once had. If it's suffering, if it's not who the dog once was for this or that reason, then we definitely lose that dog. And that we lose that version of him. Or her. And that always sucks. That never is a beautiful experience. That's always awful. And that's what sometimes happens with people too, right? We think they're loyal. We think they'll always be there for us. And then what happens is, unfortunately, for one reason or another, the person changes. Or the person was never who they thought they were. But maybe that's where the difference lies with dogs, right? With dogs, you always know who they are. There's no guessing. There's no talking. There's no thinking about why they've changed. Because they can't really change. Like, the only way they can change is from circumstances, I guess, beyond their control. Because they are simpler than us, maybe. With humans, they don't work like that. They are much, much more complicated. And therefore, you have this problem where... if a person changes, oh shit, yeah. Well, I'm bad at this game. But let's see if I can salvage this somehow. I don't know why I did this. I got distracted again. That's what happens when you... That's probably also the wrong move, because he's just gonna take it. Okay. Well, that's good. The game is not over for sure. It's in a bad state, but it is not over. So that's why dogs are really something quite a different league, and I think that's why we value them so much, because there's no complexity. There's no such complexity as with humans, but of course the lack of such complexity also comes with a lack of that very close connection maybe for some people. Of course, it all depends on what kind of person you are, but you know, humans, they can touch us in ways dogs cannot, and I mean on a soul level. And obviously we value that. We value that a lot. And yeah, of course that's gonna happen. And I guess that was dogs for you. I hyper focused on the topic, and it all went really badly. But I think I spoke well about the dogs. Let's try and make something out of this game. Okay. Wow. You know, I can't even blame the dogs. But I'm just looking at the screen, and I just make blunders. It's just insane. That's also a blunder. Now the pawn falls. You know what? I'm just gonna preemptively put this one in the bag. I did talk about dogs. It was a complete disaster, but you know, that's how life goes sometimes, and that's just how it is. And yeah, that was it. That was about dogs. See, I'm very disappointed.